Hi, I'm Lillian. Welcome back to my channel Ink and Pages. Today I'm going to be doing the end of the year book tag, which was created by Ariel Bassett, and it has six questions to answer. Question number one is, are there any books you started this year that you still need to finish? And my answer is yes, definitely. I'm not normally someone who DNFs books that often or, puts them on hold and comes back to finish them later. However, I've somehow ended up with 5 books that fit those categories already. In no particular order, those books are Joyful by Ingrid Fettel-Lee, which is a non-fiction book about joy and how you can, I don't want to say spark joy, but spark joy basically in sort of your everyday life. It's quite interesting, but I can't bring myself to read more than 15, 20 pages of it at a time, therefore it's been quite slow going, and I think I've been reading it since May. I also have 2 Cicely Mary Barker books on hold at the moment. One of them is called Cicely Mary Barker and Her Art by Jane Lang, I think, which is like a biography of her. I started this, I was going to try and read it for the Buzzwordathon, but it's so incredibly dull. It's so incredibly dull. I'm hoping I can push through and finish it because it's only 150, 170 pages, something like that. And I don't want to get rid of it because I want to keep it. It's interesting to have, but I have not finished it yet and would quite like to. I also have The Secret World of the Flower Fairies by Cicely Mary Barker. Well, supposedly by Cicely Mary Barker, because through some investigative work by yours truly, I have discovered that it was published 20 years after she died. And from what I've read of it so far, I really don't think she wrote it. I think it was cobbled together by the publishers in a cynical bid to make more money off the Flower Fairies franchise. Because what I've read of it so far, it has a weird tone. It's very different to what I thought the Flower Fairies were and what I've experienced of them so far. So yeah, it's a weird one. That's why I put it to one side. But again, like the other Cicely Mary Barker book, it is not very long. So I'm kind of hoping to finish it by the end of the year. I also have Disfigured by Amanda Leduc, which I started reading for the Disability Readathon in April. And it was very interesting, but it was quite non-fiction-y, which is a bad way to describe a non-fiction book, but it kind of was. It was a little bit too academic and my brain was only in the mood for fiction, so I put it to one side. It was very, very good. I can imagine that I'm really going to end up liking it when I eventually finish it, but that has not happened yet. And the final book I would like to finish is My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing. This is a crime thriller, more thriller book about a couple who abduct young women and kill them. And I started reading it, and then real life events happened, and I was like, not feeling that book anymore. And that was 6 months ago, and honestly, even now I'm still not really feeling it. Let's be honest. But I have an ebook of it, so it's not like it's clogging up my shelves and staring at me and pressuring me to read it every day. I can sort of pretend it doesn't exist until I'm eventually in the mood for it again. Okay, question 2 is, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the rest of the year? I would say yes. I really want to read Crooked Kingdom. I read Six of Crows earlier this year and it was amazing. I love it so much. It's my favourite book so far. And I had plans to reread Six of Crows in September and then read the sequel, Crooked Kingdom. That never happened. I think if I had to pick a season to match the Six of Crows duology to, it would be autumn. So even though I still haven't actually reread Six of Crows or picked up Crooked Kingdom for the first time, I'm hoping to read it soon and it will give me all the sort of autumnal, cozy season vibes that I'm looking for. Question 3 is there a new release that you're still waiting for? I'm so bad at keeping up with new releases. I have no idea what's going on 98% of the time in the publishing world. So I'm gonna have a quick look on Goodreads and see if I can find a real answer to this question. Okay, I'm gonna go with How to Kill Your Family by Bella Mackie. I don't know if this question means a new release that has just come out and you haven't read yet, or one that's still to be released. I'm going with the former because this book I think just came out a a couple of weeks ago. I've been seeing it quite a lot on Instagram, and I mean, the title sounds very intriguing. I did see it in a foils recently, but it was, you know, in hardback and incredibly expensive, so I didn't get it. But that's definitely one I've had my eye on and I would like to read. It is about a woman who has killed, I think, 6 members of her family, but is in prison for a murder she did not commit. And if that doesn't sound intriguing, I don't know what does. Question 4 is, what are 3 books you want to read by the end of the year? I feel like I've kind of already answered this in my very long-winded answer to question 1, but off the top of my head, obviously Crooked Kingdom. Yeah, I'm going to say Crooked Kingdom for this one as well. I would also like to read volume 5 of Monstrous because I really, really love that series, and I think volume 5 is going to give us some answers finally to quite a lot of the older questions that have yet to be answered in the series. And also I would like to read Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J Maas. This is the final book in the Throne of Glass series. I've been reading this series for so long. I think I started it in 2015. I finally read the 5th book last year and the 6th book, Tower of Dawn, just recently. It was the last book I finished. It's put me in a huge reading slump because it was not great, but I still want to finish the 7th and final book and finally be done with it all. Question 5 is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favourite of the year? So I'm guessing this means a book I wouldn't expect. Let me have a look at my TBR shelf. What wouldn't I expect to love? Well, I mean, I'm hoping I'll like all of them because I like to think I know my own reading tastes. Okay, I guess it would somehow be shocking if I managed to reread A Darker Shade of Magic and A Gathering of Shadows and then finally read the 3rd book, A Conjuring of Light. That would genuinely be shocking to me if I actually managed to read that this year because I've owned it for so long without reading it. So yes, that's my answer. And the last question is, have you already started making reading plans for next year? Definitely not. I am a huge mood reader. Even though I keep trying to set myself TBRs, I've never actually stuck to one ever, I think. So definitely not, no. It's kind of my answer. I mean, maybe I could plan to reread the Shades of Magic series in 2022 and then finally finish A Conjuring of Light then. I guess that could happen. Maybe that will actually be my plan, because I mean this year last year and this year, I decided I was going to reread the Throne of Glass series and finally finish it. Maybe that could actually be my like series challenge I set myself next year, is to finally finish that series, because also I'm pretty sure there are now graphic novels set in the world of that series, and I think she's writing 3 more books to act as sequels. So I really need to get back on that bandwagon and yeah, see what happens at the end. But okay, yes, that was the end of the year book tag. I hope you enjoyed my answers. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!